Alright, as everybody knows, recently I just got the Mega Retron HD. I did a little unboxing and talked about why I got this unit. It is unboxed, it is plugged in, it is ready to go. And I want to talk about a couple of things about the unit that I found out so far. So I'd like to welcome everybody. My name is Matt, and this is Tall Art 73's Gaming Corner. Now, I know on my YouTube channel I don't have it listed as the Gaming Corner. I'm probably not going to change that. Then hopefully in my next video later, my camera will be back over to show the corner I really sit in, not the side behind me. But without further ado, let's get on to talking about what I've discovered so far with the Mega Retron HD. I always want to call it Megatron whenever I do that. But, so a couple things that I wanted to test out. One was I use Retrobit controllers. This is their Bluetooth one. Wireless. Works fine on the unit. Works great, actually. I actually use a lot of those too on my Genesis back here, and even on my Sega Master System. I like the controllers quite a bit. Especially the fact that they're wireless. But one of the things I've noticed with the Mega Retron is that it is the card slot that they have on here. I was going to have it on opened up and let you guys see, but the card slot is definitely a little finicky because it's not keyed like the Genesis cards here. Yes, this is a 831-in-1 cartridge, but because they're not keyed like this, so that they have an instant sliding like they do here in the Genesis, it is a little bit tough getting the games in. But one thing I love about the Mega Retron already is that it does have the PAL BIOS on it, the North American BIOS, and the Japanese, which came in handy because I had to test out Super Monaco 2 that I purchased. That is a Japanese only game. That one does not work on my Genesis with the converter that I have because it is region locked. Works like a charm on a Mega Retron. I am still after a Japanese Mega Drive. I'm still planning on getting one of those just because I want it. Technically with the Mega Retron now, there's no need for it, but I still want it. There's no doubt about it. I still want that. But it is nice to have one that can do all three areas. So now I am not limited to what game I want to buy. If I'm looking up a game, and let's say I'm looking up Tad's Escape from Mars, which I already own. Let's say that the US version is just way too freaking expensive, but the Japanese version is cheap. Or cheaper. Well, I'm buying the Japanese version. Or if the PAL version is cheaper, I will buy the PAL version. So that allows me to buy any version of a game that I want now, which is super nice. Now, as most of you have seen here, I am a Sega fan. You know, Sega and Xbox. Because I went to Xbox when the new consoles came out and all that, and Sega dropped out of it. But after buying this Mega Retron HD, the spot where I bought this from, which is Freaky Toys out here, they have a Nintendo one. I don't know if it was Nintendo, Super Nintendo, or if it's Nintendo 64. I'm planning on going down there next week to check it out. And I actually might buy that one too. I mean, this might be the first time I buy a Nintendo console again. I shouldn't say the first time. I have owned the Wii, and I actually did own the Switch for a little bit. I'm actually thinking about getting the Switch game because I did buy one physical game for that one. Or not physical, digital game. But I'm looking at possibly getting that again too. But let's get back on what this subject is about. The Mega Retron HD. Alright. So there's one game in my library of Genesis games that I happen to love. But there's a problem. If you have the 32X, it's how powerfully put together, you can't play this game. It will not work. The only way the game will work is if you play it on one of these units without the 32X. You cannot have the 32X on your Genesis. And that's because of a special chip they put inside there to make the game work right. And that is virtual Racing. Virtual Racing does not work on the 32X. You put it in, you're just going to get a blank screen. So when I was working, I started thinking, I'm like, well, what about the Mega Retron? You know, if they're not using an emulator, this should work. Because this game, if you have an emulator, does not work on an emulator neither. So if they're not emulating the Genesis hardware and they're using real stuff in there, this game should technically run. So let's take the game out. I like the fact this is an authentic game, but man, since I had to re-buy it, it's got writing all over it. I mean, it's got the manual, which is all shittied up, but oh well. Alright, so we're going to put this in my Mega Retron. Megatron. We're just going to call it Megatron from now on. Screw it. Like I said, it is a little bit hard to get the games in. I'm afraid I'm pushing down in the wrong spot when I'm doing this. There we go. Alright, game is in. So, we are now going to minimize my face, and I'm going to turn that sucker on. Alright, black screen you see now should be the Mega Retron. The Mega... God, I hate that name. Alright, I'm going to power it up. It's got power. And look at that. Virtual Racing. It frickin' works. Now, the reason why you're not hearing sound from it or you've seen it come up on the screen, which is actually kind of odd, you should. I'll figure out why that's not working again. You should be getting sound from it. That is weird. I'll have to figure out why that's not working. I'll figure that out later. But as you can see, it does work. So that kind of told me right then and there that this is running more on real hardware than I thought, which is nice. So now that really makes me proud that I bought that. You know, I still do have a second Genesis by itself, but I threw it over my TV on the other end of the room. Actually, I didn't even put it on there yet. But this Mega Retron HD so far is damn well worth it. Like I said, the cartridge slot is a little tight, so I want to be careful using that, because I don't want to damage any of my cartridges. So it might go down more to like these type of things, these Mega cartridges, which this is just a rip off of one of the other ones you can buy. But all in all, I got no complaints. I got to turn down my speakers a little bit. But that's a little bit more of a insight on the Mega Retron HD. Hope you like this video, and I will see you guys in the next one, which will probably be an actual live stream of the Ninja Turtle games. Because as you know, the new one comes out on Thursday, and I am set to buy it once it shows up. So until then, have a great one, and we'll see you in the next video.